This video is sponsored by Helsinki Metal Festival 2023.
Hello everybody out there, this is Kai.
And Michael.
And we are booked for the Helsinki Metal Fest as headliners on the
11th of August.
11th.
After all the cancellations and stuff, we're happy to finally come to your country.
Yeah. Come
See you
watch
there
us.
then.
Yeah.
Bestial black metal hails from Finland and yet another Finnish band for review. This one is Right for Revenge's live album from Finland, released by Bestial Burst already in May. Born Alive Abortion. Very, very toxic title for those Republican conservatives, I guess. 4 tracks only, but overall length is a little bit more than 30 minutes. 32 or something like that. Let's remove the flyer. We don't need advertisement here. And what we have here is live photography on the inlay, and of course, once again, the track list here. And as you can pretty much figure out, 4 tracks and 32 minutes means that these tracks are not short and sweet, but rather lengthy. It's a little bit self-censoring here, so the algorithms won't ban me for good, but here it is. Interesting drawn image for the cover. I'm not exactly sure what these hooded guys are all about, but maybe they are having a convention about cyborg babies. Jokes aside, this one is very, very simple, back to basics kind of a release, in the sense that there's live photo with most of the band members right there, and just poster on the other side of the release showing what was going on and when. Well, actually, technically speaking, this says 3 members and all of them are here. I don't know, however, why I was thinking there must be some spectacular 4th, 5th member right there, because, I mean, it's never been exactly a big band. Now, those of you who don't know what Right for Revenge is all about, well, let's say it's more than 20 years of being Bestial, kind of a simplistic, barbaric, primitive, raw black metal, kind of a doomy ways. So when it says experimental black metal here on Metal Archive site, I guess it's pretty accurate in some ways. That's very much simplified, because experimental can really mean just anything, but Right for Revenge have had their own kind of a sonic parts, which means, technically speaking, some kind of a noisier ends, and especially their riffs are nothing but, you know, weird in the sense of black metal. I mean, it's not really the first wave, nor the second wave, and even less so third wave of black metal. It's kind of a crossover, and that might already like make people think that, okay, it's some kind of a trash thing. No, it's not a trash thing. It's more like putting together some kind of a doomier elements, and this is where it goes all the way back to bands like Celtic Frost or even Hellhammer for some respect. But that means that slow tempo is, technically speaking, kind of a different than what you would expect most black metal that operate either mid-tempo sections or more towards the faster type. So Right for Revenge is not so much about being grim, even less so being, you know, melodic, symphonic, atmospheric or whatnot. It's definitely on the barbaric side of things. And that, when you combine with the slower parts, it's definitely kind of a black doom, for the lack of better wording. I mean, there is no really subgenre for this kind of music. So whether you call it experimental black metal or black doom metal or just something else, it's up to you totally. Now, having quite a few releases out, I mean, they already have a bunch of full albums out and also a lot of splits. I mean, they do love splits and collaborations and whatever. Live albums is not exactly the thing here in the underground black metal, obviously, so there are not too many of them, this being the second one as far as I can tell. And I think this is actually the better half of live albums in general. I'm not a big fan of them. I always think that most of the bands do better when they do studio stuff. I mean, you'd have the perfect takes and whatnot. But when it comes to live, I think bands are good when they're live. But that's all about performance and being right there when you can smell sweat and shit and beer and all that stuff. I mean, it's all about being part of the crowd and, you know, seeing whatever happens live. When it's all just pure audio and then it's live, I don't know. I don't get the feeling for most parts. Either it has to be some kind of a DVD, Blu-ray, whatever release, and then I get to experience the live as much as possible without being actually in the crowd, or then it's just studio albums. However, there are always exceptions to the rule, I guess. Right for Revenge's Born Alive Abortion is exactly like that. Why? Because I'm not even the biggest fan out there for the band, but because it actually sounds perfect. perfect in the sense of being live and all that stuff. Yes, you can hear audience here and there a little bit, but not too much. More importantly is that the sound, the overall sound on stage is very, very good for that band. Now, don't expect any kind of a super polished production or anything like that. This is no Rammstein or Iron Maiden or whatever you have there, but this sounds like Right for Revenge, and even more powerful, being live. You can hear the drums pounding, kind of a clear, but yet having the pounding feeling, which is definitely good. And those Bestial vocals, which are somewhere between the death metal growly ones and the black metal, either raspy ones or shrieky ones, whatever style you prefer, somewhere in the middle, and that kind of captures the feeling like as if you were there. Should you close your eyes and you can pretty much figure out you're there, especially when you hear the sound of audience making, the audience sound. But when it comes to, songs and all that stuff, this is very much pure Right for Revenge experience. For the better or worse, depending what your, experience or relation is to the band. In my opinion, if you like Right for Revenge, with the studio albums and all, this is a good continuation to that. If you're a fan, this is a must-go, must-get, must-have release. If you're not a fan of the band, if you dislike whatever is going on, this album won't change your mind. After all, it's capture of what was going on with the albums and all that stuff. In my opinion, it's a worthy release and one of the better ones as such, because like I said, most live albums just pale in comparison with the studio albums. This does not. So it's a good continuation, good successor for whatever studio albums they have out there. So in case you love the band, go get it. You will find links provided in the description box as always. Should you like the review or whatever, click like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it so far. Yeah, good night. Bye-bye.